Welcome to another edition of Mills on the Hill. We're standing here with Pete Hoekstra, the former chairman of the House Intelligence Committee. How is it not being the chairman of that committee?
It was a whole lot better being chairman than being the ranking member, but the Intelligence Committee is still something that's very important. We try to do things in a more bipartisan way than the rest of the House, so it's okay.
So I caught you this week in the middle of a hearing. You have several things you're concerned about, one of which is accountability within the intelligence community. Tell us about some of your concerns.
Well, it was 7 years ago that a missionary family was shot down in Peru. And as we pulled back the layers of determining exactly what happened, the CIA said, yeah, we were involved with this. It was a tragic mistake. We've been running these drug interdiction flights for years. We have a very strict regimen of what we can and cannot do. In this case, something just went tragically wrong. Other than that, the program has worked flawlessly. Now, 7 years later, the IG comes out with a report and says, that's really not true. The rules were never followed in any of the previous shoot-downs. This shoot-down of the missionary family could have been prevented if people would have identified the flaws in the program and corrected them. They never came back to Congress and corrected their testimony. The IG, closely or nearly implies that the community lied to Congress. That's the specific example. But generally, Republicans and Democrats have always felt that getting information out of the intelligence community about what they're doing, how they're doing it, has been much more difficult than what it should be.
Now, you and I were both here on September 11th, and in the aftermath of all that, we created the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, ODNI.
Right.
Why did we do that, and has it worked?
Well, if you listen to Director Blair's testimony, part of what we were hoping to accomplish has worked. I mean, what he said, coming back to the intelligence community now, many years after he left, he said, it's now working more seamlessly. The different agencies are working together better than they ever have before. That was one of the objectives that we had set for the DNI. That's good news. The bad news is we also wanted them to transform the agency, to transform the community, to be more strategically focused, to be more flexible, to be more agile, to be a more nimble organization. In reality, what the DNI has caused the community to become is more bureaucratic.
And that was the fear of several people going into it who opposed it to start with, correct?
That's right, yes. So we addressed one of the issues, getting seamlessness. The bureaucracy, we've created more bureaucracy. We got to go back and say that's unacceptable. We want a streamlined organization. You need to be a change agent within the community to move the community forward.
Mm-hmm. So could you envision a day where we do not have that position goes away?
No.
It's here forever.
I think it's here forever. I agree with that. Mm-hmm. Because you need to keep these communities working together. You need the DNI to provide strategic direction. And what we got to do is we got to rip out the bureaucracy that it's imposed.
And one last question. You were participating in a hearing this week on hotspots. A lot of things you're worried about around the world, but give us one or two things that you're thinking about.
The Pak-Afghan border, stability in Pakistan, and the path forward in Afghanistan, and then Mexico, our southern neighbor. The conflict between the government and the drug lords, the government cracking down on the drug lords.
Pete Hoekstra, thanks a lot.
Hey, great. Thank you.